Illinois Real Estate Licensing Exam Questions. Question 1. A buyer is reviewing required environmental paperwork involving radon awareness materials. Why are these disclosures commonly tested during Drew's Naperville 2-flat building file review? Option A. They help buyers evaluate known or potential environmental risks before becoming bound to the transaction. Option B. They guarantee the property has no environmental condition. Option C. They replace the purchase contract entirely. Option D. They require the broker to perform engineering tests in every sale. The correct answer is option A. They help buyers evaluate known or potential environmental risks before becoming bound to the transaction. Environmental disclosure laws are designed to inform buyers about known or potential risks before or during the contracting process. They do not guarantee a problem-free property, replace the contract, or require brokers to perform technical engineering tests in every transaction. Question 2. A seller receives an offer of $280,000 and responds with $283,000 plus a changed closing date. How should the seller's response be classified? Option A. A full acceptance of the buyer's original offer. Option B. A counteroffer that rejects the original offer and proposes new terms. Option C. A deed transferring title immediately. Option D. A lease option created by operation of law. The correct answer is option B. A counteroffer that rejects the original offer and proposes new terms. Changing material terms such as price or closing date creates a counteroffer rather than an acceptance. It does not transfer title, and it does not create a lease option unless the parties separately agree to those terms. Question 3. A seller receives $364,000 at closing, pays off a $76,000 mortgage, and pays $7,700 in seller closing costs. What are the approximate net proceeds during Parker's Bloomington townhome file review? Option A, $288,000. Option B, $356,300. Option C, $280,300. Option D, $83,700. The correct answer is option C, $280,300. Seller net proceeds subtract the loan payoff and seller costs from the sale price, $364,000 minus $76,000 minus $7,700 equals $280,300. The other answers omit one deduction or add deductions instead of subtracting them from the sale price. Stressed about your Illinois real estate exam? We can take Illinois real estate exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. Drew and Hayden both claim the same earnest money after a failed Illinois purchase contract. How should the broker view disbursement during Reese's Champaign small apartment building file review? Option A. The broker may give the money to the latter party. Option B. The broker must always keep the money as commission. Option C. The buyer automatically receives the money regardless of contract terms. Option D. The broker should follow the contract, written instructions, or lawful dispute-resolution process before releasing funds. The correct answer is option D. The broker should follow the contract, written instructions, or lawful dispute-resolution process before releasing funds. Earnest money disputes require careful handling under the contract and applicable escrow rules. A broker cannot choose based on pressure, convert the money into commission without entitlement, or ignore the party's contract rights. Question 5. Several liens are discovered before closing, including a recorded mortgage, unpaid property taxes, and a later judgment lien. Why is lien priority important during Alex's Joliet mixed-use storefront file review? Option A. Priority determines the order in which claims may be paid from the property's value. Option B. Priority decides who may advertise the property. Option C. Priority cancels the need for title insurance. Option D. Priority makes every lien disappear at listing. The correct answer is option A. Priority determines the order in which claims may be paid from the property's value. Lien priority affects the order of payment when property is sold or foreclosed. It does not control advertising rights, eliminate title insurance analysis, or erase liens merely because a property is listed. Question 6. A small rental property has annual net operating income of $37,000 and an indicated capitalization rate of 8%. What value is suggested by the income approach during Blair's Aurora vacant lot file review? Option A, $296,000. Option B, $462,500. Option C, $4,625. Option D, $231,250. The correct answer is option B, $462,500. The income approach using direct capitalization divides NOI by the capitalization rate. $37,000 divided by 8% equals about $462,500. The other answers multiply by the rate, treat the percent as a whole number, or cut the indicated value in half. Question 7. An unlicensed assistant named Blair is asked to explain offer terms to a buyer at an open house. Why is that risky during Quinn's Evanston rental duplex file review? Option A. Unlicensed assistants may perform every brokerage task if unpaid. Option B. Only title companies need real estate licenses. Option C. Explaining or negotiating transaction terms can cross into licensed activity. Option D. Licensed supervision converts negotiation into clerical work. The correct answer is option C. Explaining or negotiating transaction terms can cross into licensed activity. Unlicensed assistants may perform clerical or administrative tasks, but explaining terms, negotiating, or advising consumers may require a license. Being unpaid, supervised, or involved with a title company does not transform licensed brokerage functions into purely clerical work. Question 8. A landlord refuses to consider an applicant because of race. What fair housing concept is most directly involved during Sydney's Oak Park lakefront cottage file review? Option A. A lawful appraisal adjustment. Option B. A title minus priority decision. Option C. A contract contingency automatically required by lenders. Option D. Discrimination based on a protected class in housing transactions. The correct answer is option D. Discrimination based on a protected class in housing transactions. Fair housing laws prohibit discrimination in housing based on protected classes. The situation is not an appraisal adjustment, title priority issue, or lender minus required contract contingency. Are you looking for CNA exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access CNA exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get CNA exam answer key today. Question 9. A property is worth $331,000 and has a loan balance of $117,000. Approximately how much equity does the owner have during Logan's Decatur suburban ranch home file review? Option A, $214,000. Option B, $448,000. Option C, $117,000. Option D, $264,800. The correct answer is option A, $214,000. Equity is the property's value minus debt secured by the property, so $331,000 minus $117,000 equals $214,000. The distractors add debt, report the loan balance, or use an unsupported percentage of value. Question 10. Riley signs an exclusive brokerage agreement and expects the broker to present offers and assist with negotiations. Which Illinois topic does this resemble during Kendall's Elgin commercial suite file review? Option A. A deed restriction created by neighbors. Option B. Minimum services and duties under brokerage agreements. Option C. A mortgage acceleration clause. Option D. A tax appeal before the assessor. The correct answer is option B. Minimum services and duties under brokerage agreements. Illinois state minus specific outlines test brokerage agreements, exclusive agreements, and minimum services. Deed restrictions, mortgage acceleration, and tax appeals involve different legal concepts rather than brokerage minus service duties. Question 11. Two firms agree that one will serve buyers only in Naperville while the other will avoid that area and focus on Rockford. Which antitrust concept best fits? Option A, valid escalation clause. Option B, leasehold estate. Option C, a market allocation. Option D, statutory redemption period. The correct answer is option C, market allocation. Competitors who divide territories or customers can create an unlawful market allocation scheme. Escalation clauses are contract tools, leasehold estates are possessory interests, and redemption periods relate to foreclosure law. Question 12. A buyer purchases for $185,000, makes a 15% down payment, and has $3,600 in closing costs. About how much cash is needed at closing before credits during Jamie's Carbondale single-family home file review? Option A, $27,750. Option B, $3,600. Option C, $181,400. Option D, $31,350. The correct answer is option D, $31,350. Cash needed combines the down payment and closing costs, 15% of $185,000 plus $3,600 equals $31,350. The other choices omit either the costs or the down payment, or subtract costs from the price incorrectly. Question 13. A managing broker supervising Hayden discovers repeated advertising and trust-account mistakes. Which responsibility is most directly involved during Rowan's Galesburg 2-flat building file review? Option A, supervision of sponsored licensees and brokerage compliance systems. Option B, recording deeds for every buyer. Option C, issuing building permits. Option D, approving zoning variances. The correct answer is option A, supervision of sponsored licensees and brokerage compliance systems. Managing and sponsoring brokers are responsible for supervision, training, and compliance controls for sponsored licensees. Recording deeds, issuing permits, and approving zoning variances are handled by other parties or government offices. Question 14. Riley prepares a price opinion for a seller in Carbondale to help set a listing price. Which limitation should be remembered? Option A. A CMA always creates a guaranteed sale price. Option B. A CMA or broker price opinion is not the same as a formal appraisal by a licensed appraiser. Option C. A broker price opinion transfers title. Option D. A CMA eliminates all disclosure duties. The correct answer is option B. A CMA or broker price opinion is not the same as a formal appraisal by a licensed appraiser. A CMA or BPO can help estimate market price for brokerage purposes, but it is not a formal appraisal. It does not guarantee a sale price, transfer title, or remove disclosure obligations. Question 15. A rental property has NOI of $27,000 and a value estimate of $330,000. Approximately what capitalization rate is indicated during Casey's Quincy Townhome file review? Option A, 4.1%. Option B, 11.2%. Option C, 8.2%. Option D, 12.2%. The correct answer is option C, 8.2%. The capitalization rate is NOI divided by value, so $27,000 divided by $330,000 is about 8.2%. The other answers have the rate, add unsupported points, or invert the formula. Question 16. A brokerage wants to operate a virtual office location for Illinois consumers. Which compliance focus best fits the licensing outlined during Morgan's Waukegan small apartment building file review? Option A, avoiding all broker supervision because the office is online. Option B, replacing written brokerage agreements with website clicks only. Option C, advertising as an unlicensed technology company. Option D, registration, supervision, and public-facing brokerage compliance for virtual or branch operations. The correct answer is option D, registration, supervision, and public-facing brokerage compliance for virtual or branch operations. Virtual or branch operations still require appropriate brokerage supervision and compliance with licensing rules. Being online does not remove supervision, written-agreement, licensing, or advertising requirements. Question 17. A landlord uses a consumer credit report to evaluate Alex's rental application. Which law commonly appears in property-management screening questions? Option A, Fair Credit Reporting Act. Option B, Truth in Zoning Act. Option C, Statute of Frauds only. Option D, Uniform Commercial Code Bulk Sales Rules. The correct answer is option A, Fair Credit Reporting Act. Tenant screening that uses consumer credit information implicates the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The other choices do not specifically govern consumer reports used to evaluate rental applicants. Question 18. A licensee knowingly misrepresents a material fact to induce a buyer to sign. Which licensing consequence is most relevant during Avery's Springfield rental duplex file review? Option A, automatic zoning approval. Option B, disciplinary action for unprofessional or dishonest conduct. Option C, a mandatory title insurance payout. Option D, a tax prioration credit only. The correct answer is option B, disciplinary action for unprofessional or dishonest conduct. Knowing misrepresentation can trigger discipline because it harms consumers and violates professional standards. Zoning approval, title insurance payout, and tax prioration are unrelated remedies for this licensing misconduct. Stressed about your CNA exam? We can take CNA exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. Harper signs closing documents for an absent seller under a power of attorney. Which issue is most important? Option A. A power of attorney automatically makes the signer the owner. Option B. No written authority is ever needed. Option C. The authority must be valid and broad enough for the act being performed. Option D. The broker may create authority by verbal approval alone. The correct answer is option C. The authority must be valid and broad enough for the act being performed. A power of attorney gives authority only if it is valid and covers the act being performed. It does not transfer ownership to the signer by itself, and verbal approval alone is not a safe substitute for proper written authority. Question 20. A candidate is planning the broker exam schedule and wants to understand the Illinois-specific portion. How is the state portion commonly structured in the current Sci Bulletin during Cameron's Peoria Lakefront Cottage file review? Option A, 100 questions with 150 minutes allowed and a 70% passing score. Option B, 50 questions with 120 minutes allowed and a 74% passing score. Option C, 90 questions with 150 minutes allowed and a 75% passing score. Option D, 40 questions with 90 minutes allowed and a 75% passing score. The correct answer is option D. 40 questions with 90 minutes allowed and a 75% passing score. The Illinois broker exam has a separate state portion listed as 40 scored points, 90 minutes, and a 75% passing score. The 100- question 150- minute format describes the national broker portion. The 50- question 120- minute option reflects residential leasing, and the 90- question format applies to a different examination category. Question 21. A buyer and seller dispute whether a built-in dishwasher stays with the property. Which test is most relevant during Drew's Naperville Suburban Ranch home file review? Option A. Whether the item has become a fixture based on attachment, adaptation, agreement, and intent. Option B. Whether the buyer likes the item. Option C. Whether the item is expensive enough. Option D. Whether the broker wants it included. The correct answer is option A. Whether the item has become a fixture based on attachment, adaptation, agreement, and intent. Fixture analysis looks at factors such as attachment, adaptation, agreement, and intent. Personal preference, price alone, or the broker's preference does not determine whether the item stays with the real estate. Question 22. Quinn passed the Illinois broker examination but delayed the license application for more than a year. What is the likely exam-related consequence during Hayden's Rockford Commercial Suite file review? Option A. The score remains valid permanently. Option B. The passing examination result may no longer be usable for licensure. Option C. The candidate becomes licensed automatically. Option D. Only a name-change form is required. The correct answer is option B. The passing examination result may no longer be usable for licensure. The SI Bulletin states that candidates must apply for licensure within 1 year after passing the appropriate examination. A permanent score, automatic licensure, or a simple name-change form would not satisfy the application requirement after the score validity window has passed. Question 23. A buyer reviews debits, credits, lender charges, preparations, and cash needed to close. Which document function is being tested during Parker's Bloomington Farm parcel file review? Option A. A zoning map amendment. Option B. A subdivision plat approval. Option C. Settlement or closing statement accounting. Option D. A deed covenant creating a life estate. The correct answer is option C. Settlement or closing statement accounting. Closing statements organize transaction charges, credits, preparations, and cash to close. Zoning approvals, plats, and deed covenants do not perform the same accounting function. Question 24. An owner personally advertises and negotiates the sale of the owner's own lakefront cottage. Why is this usually treated differently from brokerage for others during Reese's Champagne single-family home file review? Option A. Every owner must hold a broker license before signing a deed. Option B. The owner is automatically sponsored by the buyer's broker. Option C. The owner may collect commissions from other sellers without a license. Option D. Owners may generally sell or lease their own property without acting as licensed brokers for the public. The correct answer is option D. Owners may generally sell or lease their own property without acting as licensed brokers for the public. Real estate license laws typically regulate brokerage services performed for others, especially for compensation. An owner selling the owner's own property is not thereby representing the public as a broker, while licensing would be required to collect commissions or broker transactions for other owners. Question 25. A consumer asks why a state real estate recovery fund might exist. Which purpose is closest during Alex's Joliet 2-flat building file review? Option A. Providing a limited source of recovery for certain losses caused by licensee misconduct when statutory requirements are met. Option B. Guaranteeing every buyer a profit on resale. Option C. Paying all ordinary home repairs after closing. Option D. Replacing the need for broker licensing. The correct answer is option A. Providing a limited source of recovery for certain losses caused by licensee misconduct when statutory requirements are met. Recovery funds are designed as limited consumer-protection remedies for qualifying misconduct-related losses. They do not guarantee investment profit, pay routine repairs, or replace licensing and discipline systems.